Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my free importation class. In this free importation class, I'll be teaching you how to import from China yourself without traveling to China. The days of getting a visa, traveling to China to get supplies, to buy goods to your country is over. All you need is an internet, your mobile phone, and this platform to learn how to import from China. So this is the third class of this free importation class, and today we are coming to talk about how to find Chinese suppliers whilst in your own country. So, in my first and second class, we talked about how to pay Chinese suppliers. We talked about why you should import from China and why you need several knowledges to avoid running at a very big loss. So, if you are outside China, there are several ways you can get Chinese suppliers. If you are not a big business you're a beginner, the best is to import through several Chinese e-commerce apps. The most popular e-commerce app that you can use is Alibaba, and Alibaba is in English language and it is very user friendly to foreigners outside China who cannot understand or speak Chinese. But if you want to also find Chinese suppliers, you can find Chinese suppliers using other e-commerce apps used by Chinese. The disadvantage of using Alibaba is products on Alibaba are more expensive as compared to products on apps used by native Chinese in China. So if you're importing from China, the best way to find good suppliers with cheaper goods is to use e-commerce apps used by Chinese in China. As we are in China, Chinese have apps that they buy their goods from, products from in China, which they use. So you should know that the products, everything is made in China. Therefore, the products on those apps will be more cheaper as compared to on Alibaba. Some of these apps that are mostly used in China by native Chinese is Taobao, Pinduoduo, 1688. 1688 is for wholesale. We have Jingdong. These are the basic major e-commerce apps used by Chinese in China, even Chinese in China. So the products there are more cheaper as compared to Alibaba. If you are new here, thank you for staying tuned. Welcome to my free importation class. If you have any question, you can comment in the comment section, or you can join through this live to ask any question about importing from China if you have any challenge. So the best is to use e-commerce app used by native Chinese, which they use in China. But the disadvantage is these apps are in Chinese language. These apps are in Chinese language and they might not be user friendly if you cannot speak Chinese and read Chinese like I do. However, that is why you have this platform where you can learn how to avoid, how to use even these apps whilst they are in Chinese language, whilst they are in Chinese language. So these apps are very cheap. So I've made a previous video on my channel about how to use these apps, Taobao, Pinduoduo, and all those apps. So the one of the biggest challenge of foreigners using these apps is because it's in Chinese language, they are unable to translate these apps. They are unable to understand the details of the product, the description, and everything. But the simple and easiest way to use these apps is to translate them. Yes, is to translate these apps. How do you translate these Chinese e-commerce apps? The easiest way to translate is using WeChat. There are several ways you can translate them. Most people use Google Chrome. On Google Chrome, you have to do it on your computer, and that is not really user friendly. So Most people use your mobile phones everywhere you go. You can be using your mobile phone instead of using a computer. So in order to translate these apps, you need to get WeChat. WeChat is very, very important if you are importing from China. If you're importing from China, WeChat is very, 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 very important. With WeChat, you can translate all the apps from Chinese language to any language. They have about 50 languages you can translate to, and English, every language you can translate to using WeChat. So that is the safest and fastest way and easiest way you can use these apps. So I know so many people do not have WeChat. Example, those who stay outside, most people don't like using WeChat because it takes a lot of space. But if you are importing from China and you don't have WeChat app, then you are making a big mistake. You really need WeChat. So WeChat will help you translate all these apps, these Chinese e-commerce apps, and from there you can buy products from there. That is where you can get suppliers. So today our topic is how to find suppliers. How do you find suppliers? There are several ways. One is coming to China, which I will not advise you to come to China if you are not a very big business. If you have a startup or a beginner, or your business is not that big and you are not buying several 40-footer containers, I will not advise you to invest a lot of money to come to China. You can literally do everything online. However, there are scams and there are several challenges buying from online. That is why you need several of this knowledge to know that, to avoid losing a lot of money and several challenges buying online. So on these apps, you can find suppliers. For example, we have Pinduoduo. If you have used Pinduoduo before, the products are very, very cheap. The products are very, very cheap. However, as I said in my previous video, we have products which are very quality and we have products which are very poor in quality. So always focus on get quality product. Don't just buy cheap products. If you are doing business, buy quality products. So on these apps, you can find the suppliers. How do you find good suppliers? Suppliers who can provide quality products at a cheaper price. The best way you can do that is to always check the description, the review of people's previous order. Yes, on the app you can check several people have given review of the product they have bought from that seller. So from that, that is one way of checking the quality of the product. Several people always upload picture, video of the product, that same product you want to buy there, and from there you can use that to confirm whether it's quality or not. That is one method of checking the quality of the product of suppliers. With the review, you can check the quality of product. However, you cannot check the actual quality. Sometimes the reviews are not real. Sometimes some people, some stores, when they are beginning, they just pay some people to just buy their product, give good reviews so that people will buy. And if you make a mistake and you buy a lot of those goods and just sent to your country without product testing, you might lose a lot of money. I'm saying this from experience. I am in China and I have bought several things where the quality was so poor as compared to the product review. So apart from checking the product, the review, using the review to confirm the quality of the product, you can also use another method which I always recommend for everyone. If you are new here, those who are live, this is my free importation class. If you have any question, comment in the comment section about importing from China. And if you want to join this live, you can join through this link to ask any question about importing from China. So as I said, apart from checking the review on the app of the product, you can also do product testing, which I always advise everyone. before you buy any product, a lot of product from any supplier you don't know for the first time, try to get somebody in China. Just buy one of that product, send to that person. That person will check the actual quality of the product. The person can send videos to you. The person can make call, you see the actual product of the product. You can ask the person several questions of the product, because several people will tell you contact the supplier, ask questions. Yes, no supplier will tell you that his or her product are not good. That is one thing you should know. Every supplier will definitely tell you my products are good, everything. So you need to get somebody in China. Just buy one of that product. The person will check the actual quality. The person will test if it's a mobile phone. Example, electrical gadgets. Mostly, the person will check the quality, check everything before you buy a lot to your country. I am saying you have to do product testing, because I have faced several challenges with several clients who never did product testing. Because sometimes you might buy clothing. I bought this Muslim Jarabia clothing and everything for one of my clients, and he wasn't willing to do product testing. First of all, he bought one already. I checked, the quality was so good, everything. But the mistake we did was he bought about 500 pieces of these clothing, and the colors he wanted, the supplier sent wrong colors. And during this Eid festival, people mostly like white and black. And the supplier sent different color, brown, some different colors that customers do not like. So you see, even though the product is very quality, we have tested that, but when the person was buying wholesale, the colors has really made him run at a very big loss, because people do not want those colors the supplier sent. So that is one big disadvantage of importing from China without seeing the product. So it's best, most of the time, from this experience, it's best to always get people to confirm the actual color. For example, the color of the products you have, if you are buying wholesale, and the quality. So these are the best ways to find Chinese suppliers. Another way, in finding Chinese suppliers, you can reduce the cost of the product. If you see the cost on the apps, if you contact the supplier and you negotiate with the supplier, the price can be more cheaper. It can be more cheaper. How do you do that? First of all, you can contact the supplier from the app. Then when you contact them, then you tell them you need to add their WeChat. They should send you their WeChat contact. When you add their WeChat contact, then you talk to them. You tell them you are into this business, maybe clothing business, electrical gadgets business, and you want to test two of those products to see how quality it is. If they are really quality, you'll be buying wholesale. And when you buy these two of them, tell the supplier you are buying as a sample, and the supplier will sell it to you very cheap, very, very, very cheap, as compared to the actual price on the app. Another mistake you should never and ever do is to pay suppliers outside the e-commerce apps. If you pay any supplier through WeChat, you are making a mistake. Why am I saying this? If you pay any supplier through WeChat, and in case of any challenge, the supplier can decide not to refund your money, you will not get your money back. But if you pay suppliers on all these apps, Taobao, Pinduoduo, Jingdong, all the Chinese e-commerce apps, in case of any challenge, they have a refund policy which makes you protected. You can ask for a refund, you can send review of everything, how the customer treated you, how the products are. Even if the products are no good, you can request for refund, and every money will be refunded to you. So never and ever try to pay Chinese suppliers outside the e-commerce apps until you have worked with that supplier for a long time and you know the supplier. I'm not saying everybody is scam, but there are several of them who are scams. For example, I've made a previous video about an experience I had buying bags for one of my clients on 1688. So always make sure you page every supplier on the app. After talking to them on WeChat, tell them to send you a link on any of the Chinese e-commerce apps for you to pay. This way, you are always protected. So these are the best ways to find Chinese suppliers. Another way you can find Chinese suppliers is on Alibaba. On Alibaba, the products are more expensive as compared to the Chinese e-commerce app. But sometimes you might not find the product you really need on the Chinese e-commerce app, because most of the products on the Chinese e-commerce apps are in Chinese language. For example, the manuals are in Chinese language because it's purposely made for Chinese. But if you check on Alibaba, all these apps and their products are in English language, because that app is meant for people outside China. It's an international app, so all the products are in English language. So this is one thing you should know. So you can just contact any supplier on Alibaba, tell them you want to buy this product. Then you take them to WeChat, tell them to send you their WeChat. Then you contact, negotiate everything on WeChat. Then after that, you tell them they should send you a link on any of the Chinese e-commerce app for you to pay. These are the best ways to buy products from China, to find Chinese suppliers. If you are not a big business who can afford to travel to China yourself to buy products. And just to remind you, I'm telling you, there are quality products and there are poor quality products. And the fact that something is expensive doesn't mean it's really that high quality. Sometimes there are goods, certain things which are very cheap, but very, 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 very quality. In order to avoid scam, in order to avoid wasting money, always do product testing. Get somebody in China, or get a warehouse who always check your products. Get this kind of warehouse to check your products before you ship your product from China to your country. So basically, these are the easiest way to find Chinese suppliers if you want to buy everything online. And these are the ways to avoid scams. So on Pinduoduo, Taobao, these apps are just used to buy simple products. If you want to buy wholesale products using the Chinese e-commerce app, you have to use 1688. 1688. It's an app. I've made several videos about all these apps on my channel. You can check them out, how to create an account. If you have any challenge with creating an account of these, let me know, and if I can help you, I'll assist you with that for you to get these apps. So basically, these are the ways you can find Chinese supplies. If you're a big business and your business has grown very well, it's so big, it's best to try to at least travel to China once in a while to meet your suppliers. That will also create a strong bond between your suppliers, and also you can find very quality and good suppliers. Direct contact of manufacturers. Direct contact of manufacturers. Because most of the people who sell on these e-commerce apps are just marketers. They sell the products. Some of them are not the direct manufacturers of those products. So coming to China will help you get direct contact of manufacturers, and the products are cheap and very good. However, what are the mistakes? The mistake is you can never, the mistake of using that is you can not buy very small quantity. Wholesale, these manufacturers, they need people who can buy 40 liter container of their products, a lot. So if you don't have that, your business is not that big, then meaning you cannot get direct suppliers. So this is the summary and short of where and how to find Chinese suppliers without traveling to China, and how to avoid scams. If you have any question, you can comment in the comment section. And if you have any challenge with importing from China, let me know. Yeah, so basically, this is how you can find Chinese suppliers. My name is Dax. I've lived in China for 6 good years now. If you This channel is mainly about importing from China. I have 3 separate channels. The main channel is about lifestyle in China. This side hustle with Dax is about how to import from China without using an agent. And then other channel is Campus Life with China. It's a channel which is to basically help Africans to get scholarship to China without using an agent. You can literally apply everything for scholarship to China yourself without using an agent. Coming to China in 2018 has really changed my life. And if you China can also change your life. And for me, I always advise people, if you are coming to China, you should be on full scholarship. Then it is worth it to come to China. If you are not on full scholarship, it is not worth it to come to China and study. If there's nothing, this is where time will permit us to end today's free importation class. Every week, I have within this time, that is Sunday morning, which is now 5:28 a.m., 5 a.m. China time. I bring you live session of free importation class of how to import from China. If you check on my channel of these apps that I mentioned and everything, you can get several videos of how to import from China. If there's no question to ask, then thank you for staying tuned, and see you next week. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and stay tuned for more videos about importing from China. Until then, stay tuned and bye bye.